Well, welcome back to the 12 excuses keeping you from your next level. We've already looked at time, and we looked at not knowing where to start. And today we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to look at a silent excuse, one that many of us think, but we rarely say it out loud. And it's an excuse that holds so many people back. Here it is. I'm afraid to fail. Now, you might not even say this directly, but when you start thinking it, it starts showing up in your leadership. It shows up when you hesitate. It shows up when you procrastinate. It shows up when you keep planning and planning and planning, but you never actually take the leap. And I get it, because failure is uncomfortable. But here's the mindset shift that we got to make. Failure isn't the opposite of growth. It's part of it. In fact, most people you admire, athletes, authors, CEOs, entrepreneurs, they didn't get where they're at without a few stumbles, without letting failure be a teacher. Because failure actually sharpens us. It builds resilience that you really can't build any other way. And something I've learned along my journey that I carry with me is that you don't grow in your comfort zone. In fact, we gave out these coffee cups as gifts at our last conference. It says life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And so does growth. You definitely can't grow if you're not willing to risk looking silly, getting it wrong, trying something new. So instead of fearing failure, what if we were to redefine it? What if failure wasn't falling short? It was refusing to try. Failure is when you refuse to try. So here's an action step for you today. I want you to write down something that you've been avoiding out of fear. And then I want you to take one small step towards it. Make the phone call, submit the application, start the thing, because every time you step despite fear, you grow. So let's stop letting fear of failure be the excuse that's keeping us stuck. Instead, let's start seeing every step, even the messy ones, as part of the process. I love what Thomas Edison said. He said, I didn't fail. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset. Because sometimes you got to go through it to get to it. Even if you're afraid, you got to do it anyway. Now, I'm going to see you right back here tomorrow for step number 4. So go out, even if you're afraid, and do it anyway. I'll see you then.